Okay, let's give it some throttle. This is so much fun. A 911 going sideways in the desert. What else could you ask for? Can't see a thing. Use the wipers. This is the Porsche 911 Dakar and it is the most practical sports car in the world. This is actually based on the pre-facelifted model of the 911, the 992.1. But where's the key of the vehicle? Let me search for it. It should be somewhere here. Oh my god, did I just lose track of where I kept the key? I think it should be somewhere here. So this is the key of the car, which is the same as other 911 models. Let me just clean it a bit. And the shape is the same actually. However, they have added some color, the white splash all around, and it even says rough roads right there. This is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, and this is to open the front of the vehicle. So this car is inspired from the 1984 Paris-Dakar winning car, or the Paris-Dakar winning car, the Porsche 953, the Carrera 3.2 4x4, which obviously won the Dakar Rally in 1984, and it looked kind of similar. So they thought, let's bring the Dakar back with the 911. However, this is actually based on the Carrera 4 GTS. Straight away, let's open the front of the vehicle, which means all I have to do is slide my hand like this, and there it opens. Now this hood is very light because this one actually comes from the GT3. Yes, it is made of carbon fiber. It has these openings for better breathing. So yeah, there are air vents right here. This is 132 liters in terms of storage space. That is the warning triangle, the first aid kit, and a nice duffel bag. There's a light placement here. This obviously opens because that is the tire sealant, because this car obviously does not have a spare wheel. But if you're really stupid, you're going to puncture this car. It is beautifully lined as well. Washer fluid goes in right there. Let's just shut this with a lot of love. The price of this car is rupees 2 crores here in Dubai. However, it has 26 lakhs worth of optional bits, out of which 90% actually goes to the paint scheme of this car, which is obviously very expensive. Now, since this is based on another 911 and this being the pre-facelift, has two really unique features which we'll come to once we step inside the car. They made changes to the bumper to make a better approach angle for this car. They have a skid plate here, stainless steel and aluminium, to make sure the approach angle improves. There are parking sensors at the front, I think 4 of them. This is an aluminium tow hook, because that's necessary obviously, because this is an off-road car. These lights have the matrix function. It says Porsche LED matrix system, X side, 42 pixels on each light. Indicators placed here in the facelifted model. The indicator has gone from here right inside. So certain changes have been done to the bumper of the car. The paint scheme is 23 lakhs. The graphics, another 2.6 lakhs. Yeah, most of the cost has actually gone into the paint scheme for the optional extras, and the sky is the limit when it comes to optional bits on a Porsche car. This is a stainless steel mesh to ensure that rocks or stones don't fly into the radiator. So yes, it has got 2 radiators on either side, not in the center. So this one obviously comes from the Turbo S. A lot of stuff comes from other Porsches obviously. The tires have been upgraded here. These are off-road specific tires, 9 mm of depth, specially made by Pirelli, known as the Scorpion all-terrain tires. White colored alloy wheels, very retro design. Porsche badging here on the brake calipers. 6 piston brake calipers at the front, 4 piston at the rear, 350 mm disc, and the tire size, it happens to be a massive 245/45 19s. So 19s and 20s. However, the 911 actually comes with 20s and 21s, so they have gone down in terms of the size. Obviously, they had to do it so they could fit off-road tires here. It gets this body cladding as well. Fuel goes in right here. This red and golden scheme, yeah, all good, all good. Thank you. These people have also never seen a 911 in the sand, in the dunes. But hey, if that car can go places, this car can also reach certain places. The length of this car is 4530 mm. The wheelbase is 2450 mm. And the ground clearance has been increased by 50 mm. And then you can increase the ground clearance further by 30 mm, making it very practical for bad roads. In fact, the ground clearance is almost the same as that black colored car. Yeah, that is actually a Porsche Cayenne. It says rough roads here. Why? You know, the iconic paint scheme from 1984 had Rothmans written there, but that's a cigarette brand, so they obviously cannot put it. So they have put Rough Roads right here. And 953 actually harks back to the Porsche 953, which won the rally. You can change that number if you want. There's a camera here. There's obviously a camera here for lane keep assist. There's a rain sensor as well. Coming to the rear of the car, I will tell you the rear tires are massive. Yeah, they are huge. What's the tire size of the rear? Rear tire size happens to be 295/40/20s, which is so big that when you see it from here, you're like, oh my god, that is crazy. All-terrain tires look amazing. There's an antenna here. This is actually made of aluminium, and they have actually reduced the weight of the vehicle. You know how? By using thinner glass here. So this actually shaves 4 kgs, but this car has PPF, which adds another 10 kgs to it. There's a fire extinguisher right here. It says 911 Dakar right here with 1522 of 2500 units. And here the glove box is actually big enough. You can turn off the passenger airbag from there. It's beautifully lined. It gets a lot of Alcantara, which I think Porsche likes to call as race text. Door pockets are useless here. It has a 12 speaker Bose sound system, which has 570 watt output, and beautiful blue stitching right here with white as well. It's just amazing. These are sporty seats. They come from the GT3 obviously. These reduce weight because made of carbon fiber obviously. However, you can't really adjust them like this. You need some tools to do that. You can obviously move them up and down, ahead and behind, but that's about it. Not very comfortable. You can actually get the regular seats as well, which have an 18-way adjust. You get a fire extinguisher here. So this car has actually got the rally design package, which is obviously very expensive, almost 25 lakh rupees. But you can also opt for the rally sport package, which gives it a roll cage along with 6-point racing seat harness. And at the rear, you will realize that it looks very similar to other Porsche cars. However, it gets this steel finish here, stainless steel obviously, to protect the exhaust, dual exhaust right here. There's a camera here. It says 911 Dakar. That is the rear fog light, and obviously an aluminium towing hook. You get 4 parking sensors at the rear, and the ground clearance is what is the most impressive part about this car. This spoiler is fixed. It actually is made of carbon fiber, again for weight reduction, and that is the engine of the vehicle. Let's just shut this. No rear wiper washer. I think that is part of an optional accessory, and when you opt for it, that weight reduction goes for a toss because they can't give you thinner windows. The indicator is working right now. The lights are beautiful, very typical of a Porsche, but Faisal Khan's fingers of truth. Disappointed with this fake stuff happening here. Why is this fake stuff? I have no clue at all. So yeah, the paint scheme looks awesome, but is it worth spending so much money for the paint scheme? Obviously the sky is the limit because Porsche exclusive manufacturer gives you a lot of options for a lot of money as well. Straight away, let's get inside. Obviously you get frameless doors here. The rear seats have been removed. Why? So that you can reduce the weight of the car. So everything seems to be about weight reduction here, and they have done a phenomenal job in differentiating this car from other 911s because there are 30 911 variants. It says 911 Dakar here. This to open the front, this to open. There it opens to open the engine. Although the engine is not protected, they've added a lot of protection all around. So you can see there's this sort of a panel there that is for the protection on the side. When stones fly, it doesn't hurt the car much. And straight away, let me show you the interior because 2 things I spoke about are here which are not there in the facelifted model. One is the engine starter switch. Not really a switch, it's a knob. You twist it to turn on the car. This has been removed in the facelifted model. And the tachometer, oh my god, I love this analog tachometer. That has also been removed because you get a fully digital screen in the facelifted model. Now it has this wide dial, which is an option for rupees 30,000. Here too, another 30,000. This car has got the ionizer package for rupees 25,000, the smokers package for rupees 7,000. So yeah, a lot of optional kits. However, the steering is manually adjustable. Yeah, you have to adjust the steering wheel manually. That is obviously stainless steel. Beautiful pedals, really nice. You get a proper dead pedal as well. Yeah, this is not stainless steel actually. This seems to be aluminium, just amazing. You can also get rugged mats if you're going off-road. 4 switches here for the light control. In fact, the wheels are also forged. So Porsche has gone crazy with the kind of stuff they put in this car. Blue colored seat belts actually improve the rigidity of the car by 3%. But I hate the fact that I can't recline the seat because this is just way too upright. So yeah, the car is not very comfortable in that sense. Let me put the seat down. It's comfortable in terms of the ride quality, but not comfortable in terms of the seating because yeah, the seats are not that great. Says 911 there. Beautiful dashboard, just like other Porsche cars. So yeah, a lot of common bits here. You actually sink inside when you sit, and I am really sad. There's so much sand flying almost everywhere. Mirror controls, power window controls, unlock the car, lock the car. And let me straight away turn on the vehicle by twisting the switch, and there it rose to life. So this is a 10.9 inch screen, which is fantastic, and beautiful treatment here on the top as well. Auto dimming mirror, light placement here on the top. Here you get a mirror along with a light. Same is the case here as well. You get a mirror along with the light. Let me just shut this. Yeah, this doesn't really help much, honestly. You get some storage space here where the vehicle's registration card is there. 2 USB-C charging sockets. It obviously gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, both of which are wireless. It says Porsche exclusive manufacturer, and there's some storage space here, but there was a cup holder which you can remove. I think it has been removed already. Electric parking brake. It says 911 here. It should have got a proper gear lever now, so you can have Tiptronic function, but no, that's not there. This is to get into parking. This for manual mode. And AC controls have been placed on the top. Lovely switches. I love the finishing of the switches. It's just amazing. You obviously have a screen here, so when you increase or decrease the temperature, you can see that right there, and you can increase or decrease the airflow as well, the fan speed. So nice physical buttons which are very important, otherwise everything digital is like horrible, not that great to operate. This piano black finish obviously is a fingerprint magnet. 10.9-inch screen is just amazing. The quality is phenomenal. You've got navigation, you've got the usual bits, everything works phenomenally well. Very smooth, very amazing, but too much detailed, so yeah, you can get a lot confused inside. It obviously gets ambient lighting. You can obviously decide the sports exhaust, a lot of other parameters, so sky's the limit in terms of what all you can do here. Beautiful. Honestly, one of the best screens in the market right now. The air conditioning has to be turned on so that you can see this menu as well. What a fab screen, yeah. Amazing to use and not confusing at all. Let's quickly get into reverse. This is the reverse parking camera. This is the 360-degree view. You can change the views from here, multiple views. This view is actually very important when you're going off-road. Yeah, where's the bird's eye view? Let me try and get that. No, there doesn't seem to be a bird's eye view, which is kind of weird. Bird's eye view should be there. The cluster has 5 pods. It is so wide now. The steering actually blocks the 2 sides. So here you get the temperature and time, and there you actually get the fuel meter and obviously the engine temperature, which is not that important. Telling me to check tires, I will check that. And it's so easy to browse through. You obviously get a G-force meter, a lot of things here. So yeah, it's completely loaded. What a screen. This is 7-inch screen here. There's another 7-inch screen here. That's the speedometer and the tachometer in the center. Steering has buttons which have a very tactile feel to it. Feels amazing to operate. And you obviously have the drive selector here, part of the sports chrono package. That is obviously for the cruise control. The horn is decent. You get this blue thing which is kind of cool, makes the car look sporty for sure. Let me do one thing. Let me actually change the drive mode and we straight away come into sport. Listen to it. Soft limiter at 3,500 RPM, which is a bit disappointing. Yeah, the paddle shifters have great quality as well. So quality is just phenomenal inside this car. And there you get the clock, the sports chrono clock. So when you turn on the lap timer, that also works. Again, a very Porsche thing inside this car. Honestly, the cabin is just lovely, but it's all about how is it to drive. And thankfully, we've got some physical buttons here. So this is for the lift function. So the car is, I think, already lifted. I'm just going to shut the door right now. Let's get back. Too many warning. Okay, it still says door open. So you have to give the door a bit of a nudge to shut it. Now it's shut. Now let me. Okay, now it's lowering vehicle and it's making this sound as well while lowering. This is for the exhaust, hazard light, traction control, and Porsche dynamic chassis control. You know what? Nobody's actually removed this plastic from the screen. I'm also not going to do this because this car is so exclusive now. You have to maintain it in utmost amazing condition so that the resale value doesn't suffer at all. But it's a Dakar and we are in the right place to test it. Okay, let's turn on the car. There it rose to life and straight away, let's shut these notifications. We are going to come into rally mode. Yes, I will continue as a guest. Air conditioning off. Keep the traction control button pressed. Restricted. PSM off. Into drive mode. And it's time to have some fun because before we deflate the tires, let's do some sideways action. So in rally mode, 80% power is going to the rear axle, because of which you can go sideways like this, which is absolutely mental. Let's use the wipers a bit. This is so childish, and that's why I'm loving it. Okay, let's do that again. This is crazy fun. Whew. Can you ever imagine a 911 doing all this with little to no effort. Absolute madness this is. Oh, I'm loving it. I can't see a thing right now. Oh god, we are stuck. The Cayenne did tow us out, and then we deflated the tires, and now it's, oh my god, time to drive it in the dunes. Trust me on this. This is a place where usually Land Cruisers and Patrols drive, but a 911 can be driven here, which is so crazy, and then you can go sideways as well. This is absolutely unbelievable. There's a Cayenne right ahead, which I'm following, because just in case we get stuck, the Cayenne will help us get out. And that's a stock Cayenne. I was expecting Porsche to send a fully modified Cayenne with lifted suspension, portal axles and whatnot, but no, they're like, our stock Cayenne is more than enough. Now, this car is as capable as the Cayenne because firstly, it has now got the ground clearance, which is unbelievable. Then it has dynamic engine mounts, stiffer engine mounts, which are actually coming from the GT3. Driving a 911 has never been this much fun. Obviously, this car can go really fast because it is powered by a 3-liter twin-turbo flat-6 engine, which produces, hold your breath, 480 PS of power and 570 Newton meters of torque. The result is, this car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.4 seconds. Top speed is restricted to 240 km per hour. Compared to the car it is based on, it's much slower because of the high rolling resistance of the tires, slightly more weight as well, but they have restricted the top speed because this car is not about top speed, it's about going to such locations effortlessly. This has the Sport Plus steering wheel, which makes maneuverability even better. The problem is, this car loves driving in first gear, and the problem with first gear is it heats up the car. It puts way too much power, and when there's way too much power, it tends to bog down very quickly, so you have to manually shift it upwards. So this is a problem in both rally and off-road mode. And then when the car heats, it goes into limp mode. So that's something which software update can fix, so Porsche needs to really work on that. So effortless to drive this car, it's unbelievable. The ride is very, very, very impressive. And then we are coming down from here. I can see the Cayenne struggling a bit, but this car is not struggling at all because it seems to be its natural habitat. It feels so comfortable here. It feels effortless for the 911 Dakar in such terrains because it can just do this with least amount of effort. Yeah, it revs very fast. In fact, peak power comes in at 6,500 RPM, but redline comes in at 7,500 RPM. What an effortless beast to drive. Unfreaking believable. 8-speed PDK gearbox, dual clutch, which is known as Porsche Doppelkopplung. I can't even pronounce it, but dual clutch. It's fast with shifts. You have got manual control as well, and this car has got 5 drive modes. So there's wet, there's normal, sport, rally and off-road has been added in this car, because of which it can go crazy off-road. So it can channel up to 88% power to the front axle and up to 100% power to the rear axle, making it super dynamic off the road. So 4-wheel drive compared to the car it's based on, the Carrera 4 GTS. This car actually is much slower because that one goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3 seconds. This is like 0.4 seconds slower, and top speed of that car is 312 km per hour. This car will make you grin all day long. That is how dynamic and fun it is. Absolutely unfreaking believable. The problem is, all this obviously looks a lot of fun, but the air filter is in the rear wheel wells, because of which you have to actually replace the air filter after every time you go doing such kind of action, which is a 23-step process and obviously costs a lot of money as well. But then no other car, sports car, can do this kind of fun. But why does this even exist? For this much money, aren't you better off getting a GT3? Well, it depends what you want to do. Obviously, you have a Land Cruiser which can do all this effortlessly and then cost a lot less money to repair. But the exclusivity of the Dakar, the 911 Dakar, is what makes it truly an absolute amazing machine, because it's super fast off-road. Firstly, it's lighter than the Cayenne, which makes it more capable than the Cayenne, and it has similar angles as the Cayenne as well. And then you come across unbelievable fun. I love this car. It's absolutely unfreaking believable. What a machine! Porsche has gone bonkers making such crazy cars. This being based on the pre-facelift model as a 3-liter flat 6 motor, and the new GTS. It has a 3.6-liter engine. Displacement has been increased there. It sounds really nice because of the sports exhaust system here, but there are artificial sounds which are being piped in, which you can't really feel, but then they have to bring that sound because insulation levels and all are phenomenal these days. Okay, onto the gas. What crazy fun! This is not a car, this is a toy. Absolute crazy toy. And I can't believe it. I'm actually going in the dunes in the middle of the desert, drifting, off-roading in a Porsche 911 Dakar. What a beast of a machine. I love it. The ride is also improved, but it also has something known as rally launch control, wherein it allows 20% wheel spin as well when you're launching off the road. But it's kind of slow when you go off the road in terms of outright acceleration because there's a lot of resistance as well. And on the road, because of these off-road tires and increased ground clearance, aerodynamics suffers a bit, but that's fine because you can deal with that. And obviously you can hear a bit of the tire noise as well, but trust me on this car is absolutely mind-blowing to drive here. The suspension is obviously long travel, and Lamborghini also copied Porsche. They came up with the Huracan Sterrato, which obviously costs a lot of money, but that V10 motor is an absolute beast of sorts. In a sense, it's a regular 911, but a 911 which can conquer it all. A very practical 911, and that's something which absolutely blows your mind because sports cars can't be really used on a daily basis, but this one you can definitely use. You're not going to encounter dunes, but on bad roads, this car is effortless. Ground clearance is not an issue. What else do you want in life? At 170 kilometers per hour, it automatically puts the ride height down. Otherwise, you can drive it at maximum ride height most of the times, which makes this car look kind of weird because a 911 should squat to the floor. Nah, not this one. Till 170 kilometers per hour, you're having a ground clearance as much as a Cayenne. I think 5 mm less than the Cayenne. What else do you want in life? This car weighs 1610 kgs. You really can't feel the weight of this car because it is heavy at 1610 kgs, but it's still light enough. I can't drive straight. I'm sorry. I just can't drive straight. I just have to go sideways like this. Unbelievable fun. It has got active anti-roll bars at the rear for better dynamics. In fact, there is no freaking body roll in this car, and it goes from 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in just 12 seconds, which is still quick for something with such huge tires. What a car. What a car. And what a car. The way it races is unbelievable. The engine is, I love it. Okay, we are on the road into sport mode. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Launch control activated, 5000 RPM. Oh my goodness, on the road it is every bit a 911 with the kind of performance which will blow your mind. In spite of the raised ground clearance, it still feels bonkers. The sound is just amazing. It is loud, it's aggressive, the ride is amazing, body roll is very well contained. There is no body roll only. It is super sharp, extremely agile. The steering is phenomenal. It changes direction like this. You really don't feel that you're driving a 911 Dakar. You feel you're driving a 911 at the end of the day, which is super sharp, super fun, super fast, and the downshifts super aggressive. Red lines at 7500 RPM. It slams into a gear, upshifts really quickly. What a dynamic car. Absolute fun. Unbelievable. The engine, it sounds so good. The tires have good grip as well, in spite of the fact that these are not for the road, they are for off-road, but still good amount of grip from the tires. And around the corners, my goodness, it really sticks. The grip levels, phenomenal because of the tires. You can hear a bit of the tire noise as well. Yeah, the tires are screeching because they're not really meant for this kind of a road, but unbelievable. And the brakes, yeah, they have suffered a bit because of the tires here. Hazard lights off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Let's change this quickly. Oh, launch control got cancelled. Let's quickly change this. Power mode, and off we go. Unbelievable. The acceleration is mind-blowing. but the top speed has been restricted for a reason. These tires are not really good for high speed. They're good when you're going on sand, but what an unbelievable machine. The gearbox, the engine. Porsche makes the best engine, at least as far as 6 cylinders go. Nothing really beats them because what thrust, little bit of wind noise, little bit of tire noise, but you're not going to complain much about it because what an engine. It absolutely slams into a gear. Steering feels super duper precise as well. Okay, look at this directional change. The tire noise is obviously there, but unbelievable, yeah. It really shines on road as well. As much as it is unbelievable off road, on the road, there's the 911 DNA here.